Hello and welcome to Critical Questions, the antidote to lockdown boredom. I've trawled the internet for the best, worst, most interesting and ridiculous dumb questions I can find. And with any luck, my guests will be able to answer all of them. Today we have got Jen, BadTemperedBadgers, 3 seconds in the future.
Hello.
Jeff and Donna. Okay. I have a nice, simple one to start with. Although I think it might be suited most to Badger. Question 288.
That's about fauna.
About fauna. No. Question 288. If you had to marry a piece of furniture, which piece of furniture would you marry? Badger.
I think it would either be it would be either a nice bunk bed, a nice one of those really nice puffy chairs, preferably with a lean back function,
A lazy boy.
or a folding desk.
A folding desk. Do you get?
Okay. Folding desk.
Oh,
I really like those folding Euro style desks where it folds. It looks just like a kind of cabinet, and then
Oh,
you fold the
a
front down
bureau.
and it becomes the desk. Yes.
Right, got you.
Yeah.
Sammy says a couch. Why a bunk bed? We lost
Why
Donna.
not a bunk bed?
what's Donna?
It just implies that you might like. No, I'm not going there. Jeff.
Oh, I don't know. Possibly might be my bet. I'm not quite sure. Seeing as I've always had a little bit of things like Scandinavian girls, I've got to say it'll probably have to be IKEA, whatever it is.
See, Julie says a 4-poster bed. But I think a traditional oak one.
Yeah.
Jen.
I reckon it'd be the washing machine because if you get on that just right, it's an awful lot of fun.
Is that necessarily furniture though, or an appliance?
That's a very good point. I think he's right. I don't think it counts. It has to be to be furniture, it has to be broken.
Yeah. Well, in that case,
you're the arbiter of what counts here, Dave. So I was just asking.
No, I agree with you.
Build a chair into the. What if you build a chair into the washing machine?
Oh, maybe, but I don't think that counts as a normal piece of furniture. No one. I can't imagine.
I don't remember this question specifying that it had to be a normal piece of furniture.
We managed to get Donna back yet or not? Or...
Not yet.
She's got an internet. She's going to be back in a couple of minutes. The dreaded internet issues.
No, there was a joke I thought of, but I won't go there. Actually, someone might take it the wrong way, so I won't.
We shall skip to the next question.
Skip to my darling.
Because it'll take longer. Question 289. Do laws that ban offensive words make the world a better place?
Oh.
Fuck no.
Now, ban no. Restrict in certain circumstances, I can understand though.
As in?
Well, there are just some places where, I think it's the right of a venue to say we won't have language like that. But as an overall law for society, no.
Oh, even
An example of that is like Twitter restrict a lot of language and stuff like that automatically. It's their right as a business to do that.
Yes.
We don't necessarily have to agree with all the ways they do it, but
Yes,
it's
well,
their right.
But that's again, that's not a law.
Yeah.
That's not a law.
Yeah.
That
No, I
what a
agree.
private
No,
individual.
But if you have a rule for a private place, I don't see a problem with that. But as an overall arching law, yeah, I mean, I get slander law though. That makes sense. But yeah, as it's law against foul language, no.
So, what do you think about hate speech being banned? Especially if it's
I
not in.
oppose the concept of hate speech.
Say again.
I oppose the concept of hate speech.
Okay. Well, okay. What in the terms of what it encompasses? I appreciate it's actually the definition and the meaning of it, but as I was trying to cut corners in the discussion, how about explicitly derogatory? You standing up and giving a speech about how all French people are deranged and all mean things. I can't actually think of anything about the French people.
French people aren't deranged. Have you seen their cheese?
My point being, hate speech in the sense of promoting very derogatory terms about people without incitement.
No, I don't think that should be.
No. Once you get to
in
incitement,
any way.
it's a different matter.
Yeah. That's where I draw the line. Is incitement.
Okay. Donna won't be back.
Oh no.
Her ISP just cut her off because they're installing fiber optic.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh great! Perfect timing.
Oh well.
We got spaces. Come on, we got spaces.
You people.
On the question, Dave. No, I don't think. I think it.
Hello.
Should only be restricted if it can be demonstrated to cause active harm, and that has to. The burden of proof has to be on the person.
Yes.
Oh,
he's roboting.
Yeah.
Hello, Sam.
Did any of that get through to you?
Yes. Nerdy makes a good point.
Sam, how are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Can you hear us?
Hi mate, can you hear
Sorry
us?
for the typing noise.
Hello.
We can hear you. Can you hear us, mate?
I can hear you.
Great.
Right, do you know what the current question is?
What's the question?
Do laws that ban offensive words make the world a better place?
Hello. I can hear you.
Oh, this isn't going too good.
I think you might be lagged.
This is absolutely wonderful.
StreamYard is having hissy fits with the
We're
load.
having a day.
Linda had to abandon hers last night, and the audio on one of the other streams later was all over the place from the same people.
Is mine good? Can you hear me?
We can hear you fine.
This reminds me of an episode of Doctor Who.
We're just not sure if you're hearing us quite well.
I hear you. I hear you.
You're in bad signal. I don't want to know.
I hear everyone.
No, silence in the library.
Everyone. Well, we get you.
So where were you? So Sam, where are you with the question? We'll get Dave to ask it.
I don't know where you guys are.
Okay, Dave, you want to
Yep.
refresh the question for him?
Do laws that ban offensive words make the world a better place?
Holy moly.
It's a good question to come in on, isn't it?
What? What is that? Can you say that question again? That is unbelievable. What?
Do laws that ban offensive words make the world a better place?
Oh boy. Are there actually laws that ban offensive words? I didn't even know that. Is that real?
There are laws that ban offensive
Probably.
words. I mean, there are blasphemy laws in lots of countries.
Hmm.
There are lots of countries that ban specific. There is always a line.
Yeah, but isn't blasphemy kind of like isn't that
Oh, I have
is it
chocolate.
subjective?
Yes.
Well,
This is kind of the discussion we were
Well,
having.
then how could I give an answer to that?
I mean, I think Ireland is still.
I could give you my answer.
What would your answer be?
That's what we're asking for.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Absolutely not. Blasphemy all day long.
Very good. Nerdy says, "What is an offensive word?" To which Sammy responds, "Your mama." Judy says, "Where I live, certain words are so hateful, saying them in public will get your ass kicked." Sammy says, "In Australia, the N-word is used like mate between all races of people."
Yeah, I've never experienced that, Sammy. So it must be a thing where you are.
How homogenous is
Must be-
Australia?
It must be an East Coast thing, Jen. I don't know.
Yeah, these East Coasters are weird.
It's kind of, I think cultural differences just make any definition of what is and isn't offensive impossible.
Oh, entirely. And
Because
I find it interesting.
Where I grew up, the word cunt was used as punctuation, but in America, it's not quite so well received.
No. And this is the thing. I find it interesting that Christians like to try and shut down conversations with swear words. Like they have any meaning beyond that which you're giving it.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Dave.
Exactly.
Julie says, I'd add that banning language of any kind would absolutely make any social friction caused by the term worse. 9 o'clock hero, which hello,
Yeah,
says, "Who defines offensive?"
Suddenly,
Yeah.
the people who were using the term in a derogatory manner now can legitimately claim they are being oppressed.
Yes.
I mean, that was a good question. The chat is who arbitrates what is and what is not offensive, because
I could settle that one easily.
What I might find offensive, you might not. I don't, you know.
I could settle that one quite easily.
Yeah, if we were going by what any individual might possibly find offensive, then Disney Star Wars would be banned because it offends my very soul.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because you're not the person. How you define what is offensive is very easy. Very simple.
I've got a bigger question that goes with that. You have a soul badger?
This is human soul rather than a physical manifestation of it.
Uh-huh.
Well, Badger, a few years ago you'd have been okay because we still had the blasphemy laws. You could have taken Disney to court over this, but unfortunately, they've now kind of gone from the UK, so you're kind of screwed.
Go do it in Ireland.
I wouldn't do that because I think that's, even for something as heinous as what Disney has done to Star Wars, I think that's a shitty thing to do.
I discovered something last night, Badger. Completely off topic.
Okay.
Right, whilst investigating badgers and how to hunt them.
Oh, I'm beginning to be concerned about your research, Dave.
Right. Badgers are social animals.
Yeah.
You've never struck me as a social animal.
See, well, what you have to understand, Dave, is humans are social animals, but they still have introverts.
So you're saying you're...
Dave, how do you know for certain that there are not misanthropic badgers?
I don't.
Yeah,
I just like to tar all badgers with the same brush.
How do you know there are not autistic badgers?
That's right. You see that there could be all manner of badges. No?
Also, if you look at the if you look at badgers and how they interact with each other, yes, they're quite social animals. But if you look at badgers with most other species,
Very true. They
Well,
run.
we know they don't interact well with Tories. We've discovered this over the last 10 years.
Yeah, well, they can go fuck themselves.
Yes. Right, next question. Question 290. What is your most impressive party trick?
Shall I demonstrate it?
No, it's...
Oh, darn. If I had a pint glass and a matchstick, I'd do it, but...
What can you do with a pint glass and a matchstick?
Oh, well...
Are demonstrations required?
No, you just have to say. I mean, we're not in a party.
Oh, let's just say, okay, like my hand here holding the can is the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And this is let's say this can is a pint glass. I can like leave a pint glass balanced like that, with mainly filled at least 3/4 of the way up with beer, balancing like that. And I tend to just sort of subtly do it on a bar counter every so often, and then walk away just saying, or just get the barmaid's attention and say, can I have a refill? I've picked the beers off.
Mm-hmm. It's terrible.
It doesn't. With its lager, it's really good because the sort of way, kind of the way the light reflects, it doesn't always show the matchstick up. It's quite.
Right, we need to get Julie on a stream drunk.
I'm trying to process what Jeff just said.
Julie should hop in.
I wish she would. She sings poetry in Middle English from memory.
Oh, that's awesome.
No.
Hop in, Julie.
I can sing the.
Wow.
I can sing the song of the Dragon Ball.
No, you can't.
I know one or two card tricks, but that's about it. But as well, but.
Badger.
No,
Go on, Sam. Go on,
should
Sam.
I go?
Yes.
Well, the best I could do would maybe be to shove a bean up my nose and whistle. I don't know. I don't.
That is relatively unique. I have never seen it.
Well, neither have I. So.
What do you mean? So you can't do it?
I made it up on the spot, so I don't think that counts.
Oh,
That doesn't quite count.
There is one I might be. There is one little thing I might be able to demonstrate, but I haven't tried this in a long time. It doesn't work with everyone, but I'm going to have to use Jen here.
You're gonna have to use Jen.
What?
Yeah, Jen, do us a favour. Put your two hands together like that. Okay, now open up your two fingers just like that.
Pointers? Yeah.
Yeah, just open them up apart for a second, and just relax. Close. It's like a psychic energy trick to make Jen close her fingers, but don't think it's fucking working. It does on a lot of people. If you just leave them like that, they naturally kind of.
Yeah, that reminds me of something.
Wait! I see it. Wait, Jen, put your hands back up. Jen, put your hands back up.
Just relax. Just relax.
Oh, wait. Now, see, if you're a Christian,
See, they are
it definitely closed. I saw it close.
A miracle on Dave's channel.
It's a miracle. Jeff, who are you?
Well, long hair. I don't know.
He's everyone's secret lover. That's what he is.
You missed yesterday's question as to whether or not you consider yourself the new Jesus.
Oh. No, that motherfucker considers himself the old me.
Oh. He's suggesting you're older than Jesus or more imaginary.
Yeah, well, whatever way you want to look at it, I don't care.
Jeff is real.
He wishes he was me.
Probably.
Which doesn't say a lot for him, actually, because that's setting a pretty fucking low bar.
It is.
Yeah, it really puts him on a very low tier.
Yeah.
Badger,
What was the question?
what's your most impressive party trick?
Thing I can do most easily without preparation would probably be body percussion.
Body percussion.
Oh, the whole whacking of the cheeks.
I didn't know where you were going with that
Not
sentence.
so much the cheeks.
What? Where I was going?
Yes.
Would you like me to briefly demonstrate?
Yes.
Let's see if I might. 1 second. The other thing related to this is how fast I can click my fingers on one hand.
That's not bad.
What the hell's my earphone gone?
Great
Yeah.
demonstration.
Badger?
Well, I was going to say, the fact the whole thing of a talking badger at a party would be a pretty great trick in itself.
Mm.
Yeah, but
And he's a
I go to
ventriloquist badger.
parties. I go to badger parties. We've already established how well badgers interact with other species.
Well, you know one thing, Badger.
Bodger's badger didn't.
Can I say something to Badger?
Yeah.
I think you're not fooling anybody.
No, can you?
We know you're really not a badger.
What are you saying?
No one's got proof
Don't ruin
otherwise.
my imaginary friend.
Come on, Luke.
I am deeply offended, and I
Still
think
real
we
to
should
me,
ban
damn
this
it.
as offensive speech.
Good
Joey!
morning.
Hello.
Julie, no.
Hi.
How are ya?
I literally just rolled out of bed, so this should be fun.
Just in time to
Would
show
you
us
like
your party
to-
trick.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to hear?
Oh, you
Yeah.
actually want me to do it?
Oh yeah.
I can do it, but it might be boring.
Not too long
Okay,
then.
this is it's not too long. No, it's not too long. So this is an old song, and it's an old Scottish Middle English song. So there you go. It's not just Middle English; it's Scots Middle English, but it's taking sitting down Furlington, drinking his blood red wine. Oh, where will he find a good sailor to sail at a ship of mine? Up in Spak and the Kneek, he sat at the King's Reach Knee. Sir Patrick Spence's to best sailor to sail upon to say. Whew. Taking had written a broad letter and sealed it with his hand. Has had it sent to Sir Patrick Spence, who's walking on the sand. Tay first night at Sir Patrick Riddy, laugh hey. Tay second lane at Sir Patrick Red, tay tearing tay blinded easy. Oh, is tis who has done this deed, this ill deed done it to me. To have a man sail this team of the year on such a wintry sea. Mecca has to merry men all our proud ship sails in the money. Oh, say a nay, so me, Captain, dear, for a fear we shall come to harm me. And I'm going to stop there because I'm shaking. Wow, I didn't realize how nervous would make me. Whew.
You're still
Anyway,
married,
let's
right?
Right.
I am. The ship sinks, they all die. It's really sad.
Julie.
That was great. That was really great.
It was.
Thank you. They're going to get the King's Bride from across the sea, and it's the wrong time of year, and it's at a new moon, and they get caught in a storm and they die.
And they were all pissed at the start, weren't they?
Probably.
Wow, you are such a brave lady.
Yeah,
no.
thank you.
Now I thought being able to sing off this Philosopher's Song off by heart was impressive, but no, that is just that is really impressive what you just did.
Yeah.
Okay, stop.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit weird.
So
I think
Dave-
this has gone from critical questions to like Britain's Got Talent all of a sudden.
I've got to ask Jen now.
So Dave,
Jen,
do you want me to
Oh,
demonstrate
dragon.
mine?
what's your second best party trick?
Second.
You don't want me to do my best party trick.
Second best. I thought you wanted
Oh,
the
look,
best.
it involves something like that. I'm not choking on it.
Oh no.
And I won't do it.
Is it a bit like the javelin event? Can I just ask?
Have you not seen her party trick?
Have you not seen me do it? I've done it on a couple of streams.
I have not. I'm
probably
interested.
probably pre-watershed where we are. So
You're definitely post-watershed now. No, you're pre-watershed.
Wait. Now, what you're calling that's the party trick, right? It's
Yeah.
a party trick, Jen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
She
I've
does
done
it at
in
parties.
A couple of parties when I was drunk enough.
So
Only with a not with a real thing.
Oh, you've done that. You've done that trick at parties.
Not on
a party
somebody.
trick, right? Party trick.
Not on real people.
I once watched.
Like if I was to do
Someone-
a trick and I didn't do it at a party, would it be a party trick?
No.
I don't know. It's something that you can do that not a lot of other people can.
you might have to like broaden your definition of party.
Yeah.
I once watched someone play the theme from the Titanic on a slide whistle. That was quite impressive.
Oh,
That would be either very good or very bad.
Unfortunately, he was doing it like on a date, and it was the most awkward thing I've ever seen.
Say again? Am I the only
Are you the
person?
only person who's actually seen me do it?
Apparently so.
Maybe when the stream's over, if everyone's still here, I'll do it. But I'm not going to do it to the stream because I don't ever want me to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jen. I did not mean to interrupt. I heard Badger's flute, and I wanted to tell you last night on your stream, Badger. If you didn't catch it, I commented that yeah, it is. You're absolutely right to call it a Native American style flute because, for one thing, you're not a Native American and you made it, but also, as he pointed out, it's made out of this lovely English wood. But at the same time, man, it sounds perfect. Like I've been to powwows and stuff. Whatever you made it right. That sounds amazing.
The chap that I made it, I made it with a guy who's like a professional flute maker. So I carved it, then he tuned it. He learned this from a chap in America.
Cool.
nice.
Very
nice.
cool. Oh, and FYI,
Yeah,
just because I've been to
photos of it
powwows,
and
not
put it on
not native
Twitter.
here, not indigenous.
Mm.
Just to not put any false information there.
But I'm still
Yeah,
still
well, the thing is,
interested in
the
Jen.
flute is very English, but the flute
really
is
wanna
very
see-
English in everything that it's made from, but the style that it's made in is Native American.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, sounds perfect.
Excellent.
Okay, Dave, isn't this a question show? Do we have questions?
We do.
Has Dave answered this question himself yet?
I don't know what we're on. We're on the next question now.
Oh, the next
right,
question.
yeah.
What's the question, Dave?
Question 291.
I will play some soothing flute in the background.
If you were put in charge of creating a brand new global holiday, what would you name it, and what would it be? How would it be celebrated, and what time of year would it be held?
I've got one.
I was going to say,
Special
like,
kind of holiday, right? A
Mhm.
special kind of holiday.
Yes. Like
I was going to
Jeffmas.
say, like, that should be every day. That should be every day.
All right, I've got one. It's COVID remembrance, but it's not a day. It's 3 months, and everyone fucks off to their own homes. That's how we celebrate.
3 months every year.
3 months every year. We don't have to actually talk to other people, except for those we live with, unless we want to.
I do wonder whether or not
and we will
people.
get
That's pretty good. I like that.
I like that a lot. I wonder
People
whether or
hate
not
that.
people would be a lot happier if we knew an end date.
Maybe.
Rather
We've had a
than,
few. We've had a few of them. I don't want to brag, but I think I've survived like 20 apocalypses so far. So
So, see, Buffy is out there, and she's getting it done.
Mm.
That's our non-proof, right there.
I'm pretty sure I've survived the Mayan one. I've survived the Nostradamus one. I've survived about a dozen.
like I say, if you're
Christian
using
ones,
Nostradamus, you've survived hundreds.
yes. Oh yeah.
The
that's true,
2012 one is the one I'm most proud.
What, the calendar ticking over?
Yeah, that one.
I have a good one.
Go on.
I think it's a good one. Like like Burning Man. Burning Man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking more like Humanity Man, where people of all creeds and colors and religion get together and celebrate humanity in a huge conglomeration of whatever. How does that sound?
That sounds lovely.
It does.
I was going to suggest like an international day for flat earthers, but I already gathered there's something going on April the 1st already.
Badger, I've got to be a pain in the arse, but StreamYards can't deal with multiple sounds.
Yes.
Nerdy says,
Jeff, go on. I want to hear what Jeff had to say.
Did you not hear it?
I want to hear it. Yes,
I
Jeff.
just said no. I was going to suggest international.
I thought I was
having
muted. You go on.
Thanks, Badger. I was going to suggest International Flat Earther Day, but I found out there was something very similar already going on the 1st of April.
Oh God.
Nerdy says, Bad Tempers Badgers.
1st of April. Oh, that's funny.
Yes,
Sorry.
you just got it.
I'm sorry. Just woke up. It's taken a minute.
Nerdy says, Bad Tempered Badger's excellent day off, and it will be held on the last Friday in April.
I'm good with this. I think that's a good idea.
Well, it's
How
not
about
so much.
International Get the Fuck Over It Day?
Ooh.
Well,
I like that.
One day a year where everyone just goes, fuck it, I'm getting over everything and we're starting
Isn't
fresh.
that what Jubilee was?
Nice.
Yeah, I guess, but Get the Fuck Over It Day sounds better.
I like the flat
I like
earther
that.
appreciation day idea.
It has to be celebrated all over the globe.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I vote for Jens. I like that.
Should be the tagline for it.
This
The
isn't
Flat
so much
Earth Appreciation Day is celebrated all over the globe.
Yeah, does that include the flat tards,
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
they
the
need
point.
to get the fuck over it too.
even if they're not on the globe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does include the flirts, yeah.
We know they're still
If they're
here.
still
They can.
international, though, even if they don't think they're on a ball.
They
Uh,
need to
not.
get the fuck
I don't know.
around
It's
it.
weird.
well, we all know they're on a globe.
Sammy says Weed Day.
Well, that's
We
if
have
you
that.
go-
That's
if you
April
go by-
20th.
It's April
Yeah,
the 20th. I was
if
going to say,
you
isn't that
go
not
by
Wednesdays?
the American- As if you go by the American bastardization of the calendar, yes, it's the 20th of April.
Yes. So
Although it's every day.
It's a
So
time.
Sam
me
reckons
Snoop
we should
lied to me.
every day at 4:20.
Yes. So a holiday that's
Well,
a time
We
of
were
day.
already, or did Snoop Dogg like it?
Every day.
I have a suggestion, but it's not so much a holiday. It's just a more of a suggestion that for something that everyone should be entitled to once a month, and I think it will cut down on work days lost through sickness if everyone is entitled by law to once a month have a fuck it day where instead of phoning in sick, you just phone your boss and say fuck it, and you have the day off.
Oddly enough, Americans have done that. They've done it very successfully to eradicate sick days. They have this whole
we have it.
personal day thing,
yeah, it's called personal
Oh,
day,
personal days. Yeah.
right? Which means they don't give sick days instead. And
yeah.
terrific.
Right,
Well-
but they're all is allocated personal days.
Yeah. Yeah. You only have a certain number, and that's if your company does that.
No, but is it not
So like
weird?
mine does 5 sick days, and then
It's
the
not
rest are
in-
vacation.
How
days.
can you
not
time
really
your
defined
sick
in law.
days? How can you time your sick days?
No, the sick days
No.
can be
it's
taken
not.
whenever during the fiscal year.
No, what I mean is,
When
how
you're
do you know
actually
you're
sick.
only going to need 5?
Well, that's the thing. I
No.
always need more because I have chronic migraine, so I end up using my vacation days as sick days.
Oh,
See,
yeah,
yeah,
that's why it's fucked up.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck off.
Yeah,
That's
it is
absolute
fucked up,
bullshit.
but it's America.
If I am sick,
Land of
I am not gonna
opportunity
be
and
there.
work you
I'm
till
still
you're
going
dead.
on holiday for
That's
my
what it
full
is.
holiday.
Yes.
Well, I'd be fucked at the moment because I'm off work for at least 3 months at the moment. So
I am too.
Yeah.
And not Yeah,
Well,
with no
Well, the
paycheck.
good thing
Yeah,
about
if
it, the good thing about
It's
it
okay.
If
in
I'm
America,
Oh.
the good thing about it is if you use all your sick days, then you get
I'll be back in
penalized.
2 minutes, Dave. All right.
Right.
You get penalized for doing any other sick days, right? So
Yeah,
so some people might like to be penalized, and some people might not. So
I don't in the way that they do it. They can dock your pay.
well, I'm just
See,
using.
Penalized sounds
I'm
like
using.
they do it.
I remember when
I
they
know,
brought in
I'm
the
sorry.
personal day thing.
I stomped over your innuendo with realism. I apologize. I shouldn't have done that.
When they
My view
brought
on
in,
sick days is,
Penalised,
if I'm
it's
sick, I'm not
definitely a
going to be
form of
there.
yes.
Innuendos.
My view on sick days is, if I'm sick, I'm not going to be there, and I'm still taking my full holiday. And you can go fuck yourself if you think otherwise.
Oh,
Yes.
that's lovely.
Exactly.
That should be. Julie, did you have a holiday?
I did, but it was lame. I said we should just have a COVID remembrance.
Oh, you did? No, it was a good one.
3
It
months.
was the first one.
Yeah, it was the first one.
And I completely forgot it. Nerdy
No,
wants.
it's all right.
Nerdy wants to be penalised.
I can arrange this, nerdy.
Penalize?
Oh,
Yes.
I
I
miss
have
the UK
one.
so
One
much.
rodent does another.
Penalize me,
It's
baby.
called,
That was the point.
I have one. It's called Fuck Disney Day, and it just involves breaking up the company into smaller parts and making sure that Star Wars is not run by any of them.
And turn it into a company called Lucas and give it away to someone else.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we could
Maybe
just take
one
all the
out there.
companies. We could take all companies that Disney has bought. Oh, I'm buffering.
I do wonder if there should be a maximum size for a company. Anyway, that's a whole other topic. Question 292. Do you trust your government? Why/why
Oh, hell
not?
How long you got?
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Sorry, I'm sorry. The Cheeto in Chief's face flashed into my head. I was like, nope.
This is a preemptive.
It was.
He's only a piece of your government. The rest of it should be keeping it under control. The checks
I know,
and balances.
The checks and balances are.
How's that going?
Not well. Since I'm sorry. Since I'm already talking, I'll just finish up really quickly. I do trust my state congressman. That's a Congressman Cohen. He's awesome. My Tennessee State Senator Blackburn is horrendous and gross. She's just gross, and she just got and Trump just appointed her to an even higher thingy. And ugh.
Great.
Every time I write her about anything, she comes back with, yes, but should federal money really be used to support Planned Parenthood? And I'm like, yes, because it's healthcare. And I'm done.
Sammy says yes, and then no, I don't, because it's a government. Junk Shop says fuck no.
That's my man.
Well,
Badger, do you have an opinion on this one?
Wait a minute. You just added my answer. You added it.
I added it.
You said I said
Happening?
something.
No, I said Sammy.
You said I.
A different man.
Oh.
Sammy in the chat. Go on, Badger.
What's happening right now?
Right.
well, Badger.
It's
Oh,
for-
it's me.
yeah.
Right, my answer is, of fucking course I fucking don't. Have you seen it?
It's just a government made up of the people. We voted for them.
No, it's fucking not. It's a government made up of the people who have all the money.
Yes.
It's a thing is what was I mean, it's a representative democracy. We don't we don't have the right to recall them when they fuck up. We got to wait like 5 years to get them out or whatever for another bunch of arseholes to come in and misrepresent us the next 5 years. But the only thing I trust any government to do is fuck things up. Quite frankly.
A mechanism for
Well,
over 50% of the population says the government should be removed, it should instantly be removed from power.
Oddly enough,
That's
I
right,
think
really
that
is.
I think government, the way
And have
governments
to
are
change
organised,
it.
are wrong. It's one of those things that it got me. I'm going to do something I've got told not to. I think that democracy, as people hail as a good thing, right? Democracy is a terrible thing. Okay, the only thing that you can say that democracy has done is historically it has prevented the worst. It does not produce the best. Okay, and I think if you change governance, so the point of governance is to reduce harm. So instead of voting for things, you vote against things. Because people are more angry about what they're against. They're willing to agree what they're against. Very
Well,
quick.
how would you get anything like
Dave,
But you
isn't
wouldn't.
that kind of what we end in reality though? That's what we end up doing already. Okay.
To some degree, yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the point is,
I
it's
mean,
not
for
though.
example-
We're meant to be happy about the fact that we're voting for someone.
Yeah, I mean, you know what you're saying. I mean, what you're saying is, in essence, what we really end up doing. That's what I mean.
Yes.
Well, listen.
But my
can
point
I
is,
tell
it should
you-
be organised to do that properly. Go on.
Yeah, but Anyone who's-
I've worked for the government.
Yeah.
And in the United States, I was part of the military, and I don't trust them at all.
Mm.
And that's from someone who has been in the system.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
I second guess everything that is told to me. Even when I was in the service, I second guessed everything, and I had to in order to do my job sufficiently.
I find it
I
really
had the
weird that
second-
the military are told that they have a set of international laws that they have to follow when it comes to following orders, and they're also told you follow orders. So not only do you have
Yeah.
the chain of command that you are meant to follow under all circumstances, you also have a thing that says, but don't follow them if they're these, but you better follow them.
Right.
Well, that
It's
came out of World War II.
Yes.
a huge
There's a
contradiction.
reason.
Right, sorry, go on, Julie.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I just said that specific thing came out of World War II when we decided that just following orders was no defense for committing war crimes. And then also the other thing I wanted to say about the voting negatively, like I see your point, but then I know what would happen here. I mean, I can imagine, I can extrapolate what would happen here is that they just switch the language. And so they might say, they might put something on that says,
Right.
okay, so if you don't want abortion to be legal, vote against abortion. And it would be
Yeah.
close. It
Yes.
would be
Yeah,
No,
close.
no, I
It was
agree.
You
frighteningly
know what
close.
happens? What happens when you change the language of something? It means that you're eliminating people who don't have the ability to understand the language change.
Oh, I
So
mean,
there's-
I think an awful lot of watching, again, over my lifetime, everything has been about manipulating language, politics and
Right,
business.
Right, but there are people who don't have the capacity to understand language like others.
And do you want to know what
Like-
makes me
like-
angry? What's really angry? And I go on a real rant, and it's absolutely meaningless, but it makes me angry. Okay, people pay
Right,
for
but-
people pay for Wi-Fi. Okay, on their internet connection. Right.
Oh, yeah,
Wi-Fi
that is
is
silly. That
provided
should be
by a
free.
router in your house. Yes, you buy a router that does Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi costs nothing once you've got it. The fact that people pay for Wi-Fi in your house is insane. But they've been convinced that this is a legitimate service.
Right, but that has nothing to do
Yeah,
with
what do you
whether
mean
I
people
trust
paying
the
for
government.
Wi-Fi?
yeah, that's a bit off topic.
Oh, it's very off topic, but it was about the language change.
Very.
It was about
No, I'm wondering what you mean by that, Dave, because you mean they're paying for their 4G connections on their phone?
no.
Here, it's just anything. Like the Wi-Fi I'm talking to you right now through my computer in my apartment, we pay for that.
That's,
We pay to use that.
Really?
yes.
Yeah.
You
I
pay
think
extra for that over and above your initial internet connection?
Yes. We pay to have an internet connection.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
wait,
So
Hey,
if you're
the
really
que-
poor,
wait,
like
wait,
really
wait,
poor
wait,
in the
can I-
U.S., you don't have access to the internet unless you go to a public library or something.
wait, there's no extra fee for having the Wi-Fi.
So wait a minute.
That just is our internet,
Right.
like because Wi-Fi exists now. But before now,
It's mostly
it was-
bundled in
It
now.
was
I was
yeah.
just
Before now, it was before Wi-Fi. It was
Yeah.
a different kind of internet, but
Right.
whatever it was, you paid for it.
I'm like
sorry,
chomping at the bit to talk.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry,
I
Sam.
distracted us in another way, and I was.
I'm sorry.
Let Sam go first.
You're all great. I love all you guys, man. You're all so great. I mean, all you guys. But listen, I was in the military, and I know they lied to my face. Straight up lied to my face. Right? And was that the government? I don't think so. That was just people telling me to do things. You know, that wasn't the government. But then there's this other thing that people call the government. I don't know what that is. I can't pinpoint it. Right? You know what I mean? But if the government wants to tell me I have to do something, and if I don't do it, I'm somehow not doing the right thing, then that's fucked up, man. Now, I don't know if I'm explaining
I have
that
comments.
correctly, but
I have comments, but I don't want to keep delayed talking across.
Oh, we haven't heard.
Oh.
I think. Thank you, Sam, because I see your point. But Jen never got to answer the question.
She didn't.
Jen's
But
gone.
you didn't give your point either. So, go on, Jen.
Sorry, what was the point? What was the question?
Jen,
Exactly.
Jen, do you trust ScoMo?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that's right.
the government, in basically, you know what I mean.
Look, there are individual politicians who I've met who I trust, but the system as a whole, no, not exactly.
See, I don't think you can trust
there's
any
certainly-
politician that's a member of a party.
Bastards.
See, this is the thing I was gonna mention, Dave. I don't think. I think all governmental parties should be abolished, and each issued on by the people separately.
And I think that might be viable in the future. We're getting to a point where that will be viable. Wait there.
Now,
No, here's the problem. I think it'll be manipulated, just the same way. In fact, I think it might be worse because I think it's easy. It's very easy to convince an awful lot of idiots to do something against their interest.
Yep.
I include myself in the term idiot then, because the things I don't care about, it is easy to convince. Again, I'm not going to say that. I'll get into trouble.
I think parliamentarians should have to have secret ballots on the issues they're voting for.
I waver on that.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
I get the other side of it, in that it's harder to hold them accountable if you do that, because they can say, "Oh, we're going to vote this way," and then not.
I'm
But I
No,
think
say
it
it
would be
again.
better. If
If I'm electing someone, if I'm electing someone, I want to know what fucking way they're voting on something. You know?
yeah, but the whole question is, do you actually trust the government? Do I trust the government? And I live in America. I live in Arizona. And do I trust them? No. I don't.
Yeah.
I know
And that's-
so many American ex-military who say the exact same thing. If that's
And
enlightening
I've
to
been in
anybody.
the military. That's right. I've been in the military, and I do not, because they've done things to me while I was in the military. So no, absolutely not.
Okay. Let's flip this so we can move on. Is there anyone here that does in any way trust their government?
Well, like Jen said, I do trust individual politicians. There are a couple who I think are genuinely trying to do good for the most people, and I'll cite Ocasio AOC on that. I'm gonna butcher her name right now if I'm not looking at it to say it. So, but yeah,
I
As
trust
in all honesty,
the-
it's the party machine that destroys it all.
Oh, we
Oh,
lost
we
him.
lost. Yeah.
We did.
no.
I wonder if he's getting fiber optics put in.
I'm having a lot of internet issues here at the moment.
And StreamYard's on the back of it is really struggling. I just
I think Jen, you were going to say something about about the
I
organized.
think part of the problem is actually the party system. I think
Yes.
the party system screws it up.
The problem is, here's the
That's
problem. What is the
wanted to
alternative
hear.
to
I
that?
wanted to hear that.
What is the
Yes.
alternative? As soon as you eradicate it, what you have is small groups of people that you don't know are accountable to anyone. Because that's what they do.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, but
I mean, I agree with you,
yeah.
the party system is to blame, or is very much at fault. What I don't know is how you'd fix it. And we've lost Badger too. I think we might.
Badger!
I think we might have lost. Be losing Southern England. I hope it stays that way.
This question is clearly cursed,
It
and
is.
we should move on. That's
We've got
Any
Badger back.
messages from anyone? Badger's back.
yay.
Badger.
I'm having, I have comments, but I don't want to keep just delayed talking across everyone because it gets.
That's okay.
It gets
Right, just let me run through the things, then we're going to go to the next question. You never give your point. I know I didn't. Reese says the world is run by paedophiles and psychopaths, and the higher up it gets, the seedier it gets. That may or may not be true. He says the older he gets, the less he trusts. Hissy says, I've just seen the question. Absolutely not. Reese, I don't trust any government. They all piss in the same pot. A small group of elite families control the entire monopoly. Tony says distrust in the government is partially a function of the availability heuristics. Times that things run well and nothing happens don't stick in your memory. No. Oddly enough, it's one of those things, right? And I've tried to discuss this with other people.
I agree. I agree with what Tony had said in that statement. I agree with that statement.
The problem
That
is
very.
I think governments need to move slowly. I think governments should move slowly. I don't think governments should be making snap decisions.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to.
Which is,
Once it's
Yes.
Corona, they move slowly, and that's part of the problem.
Yeah, the problem there is that decision should have been made years ago. In a lot of respects, it was,
Yeah, I have
and
a comment
other people
on-
came in and got rid of it.
My comment on this is I trust the government to do everything it can to maintain the current status quo where rich people continue to get richer and everyone else can go fuck themselves. As long as
Yes, but we've
that
seen in the
status
past
quo
that's
is-
not always the case. This
that
is the
status
problem.
quo that status quo is functional in that it keeps society at kind of going, but
Yes.
I don't trust them to do anything to improve the lives of people who are not already in the rich people club.
Again, I would disagree, especially if you look at the last century of America. Although saying that, if you then include race in the thing, it gets a lot funnier.
Yeah,
But-
really? I was
When you didn't
Sorry.
include race, and you look at America, America raised an awful lot of its lower into the middle classes through the 50s, 60s, and 70s. There has never been a greater increase in population in history. In population increasing in wealth. That doesn't mean to say they were perfect. That doesn't mean to say they didn't leave a shitload of people behind. But no other country in history has done so well. Although saying that, I think history might look back at China in the last 30 years and say otherwise. I think we will see where history goes with that.
Okay. Am I back, am I?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to last. I've had to come back in on my phone because for some reason the internet's playing silly buggers in my house right now.
No problem. We shall
Yeah,
run to the next
probably
question.
in time.
Yes, you're probably getting fired.
Yes, let's run to the next question and also vote. People vote.
Yes.
Sorry. I felt like I had to say that.
No, it's worth doing.
Don't vote for Mr. Orange Head.
Ever. For any reason. Right.
I agree.
Can I vote for him to be removed?
Right. No. Question 293. What is your most common recurring dream?
Oh, I have one immediately.
Go on.
I had this occurring dream continually as a child, and it was a drowning of my entire family.
Oh.
And it was terrifying.
Did it stop?
But that's what it was.
Did it stop?
I mean, it did stop. I haven't had it in many years.
The worst thing is you're probably going to have it in the next few days.
Well, I hope not, because it was very distressing to me, even when I had it when I was a young child, and probably will even be to this day. But it was just the whole circumstances of the dream that was depicted in my head.
Did you discuss it with your family?
No, I've never actually spoken to any of my family members about this dream.
I'm intrigued as to whether or not there was an underlying trigger when you were very young.
I can't understand where this dream came from or why it manifested itself, but it did. So I have to live with it as it is. So that's it. But what it was my family would. We were all kids. I have 3 siblings, so it was us 3 kids playing around in the house, jumping around and being kids. And my mother and father were like, stop it, being really like stern toward us and telling us to stop jumping around and having so much fun. And then they would like, if you don't stop jumping around and having so much fun, we're going to run outside and drown ourselves. And I'm like, uh-oh. And the next thing I know, I'm standing on the back stoop of my porch, and there's like this river, and the whole family is just like walking into a river of water, and they just keep going, and I'm standing there and going, stop, and yelling, stop, and they just don't stop. They just keep walking into the water, and they just go gone. And I'm like standing there amidst of a torrential like rainfall and all this other watery stuff, and I'm like, oh, and that's the dream.
Tony asks, he wonders if Sam's dream informed him of his choice to live in a desert. You live in a desert?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I live in Arizona now, yeah.
I want to go back to you as a kid and hug you. Now, that's terrible.
Telling you the truth, I had a wonderful childhood.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I had a picture perfect childhood. I can't think of anything terrible that has ever happened to me as a child. And if it did, I'm not even aware of it. You know what I mean? It's that good.
Apparently bad dreams are symptoms of 5G poisoning.
Oh, must be. I don't know. Maybe we should we burn those towers down?
No!
No, let's not do that.
But it's like so amazing that someone that you would think that had such a happy childhood would have such a horrendous dream of his entire family killing themselves.
I mean, not to go all psychoanalytic on you, but it makes sense, actually. You had a lovely family, a lovely childhood, and you were terrified of losing that.
And the worst thing is, it probably is a tiny trigger. It may just have been something you saw on TV, and your brain then fitted so much around it.
I never thought of it that way, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, I have weird things about certain films, and I know that it's just a snapshot, and it's embedded deeply in my brain. That I try and solve problems, I then fit people into those problems. It's kind of odd.
Right.
Tony says, bizarrely, until Katrina, I lost it, I dreamed often my whole life about tornadoes. After laying on the roof and watching over a dozen tornadoes fly by, I never had that dream again.
Oh.
Guess that cured it.
Yes.
I don't know.
Exposure therapy.
Yeah.
Right. Jeff.
I used to have like a recurring nightmare about like falling off of something, like a building, or like a height, a kind of height thing. I think I might have cured that just because I think it might have just been linked to a fear of heights in general that I think I've cured. But
see, I don't know. I definitely not cured my fear of heights, and I stopped having that dream as I've got older.
Yeah, I stopped having it a while ago, but But like I don't know, like Zipwire in a form of fear, for example, that might help get me over my height issue. But I don't know how well I'm coming through at the moment because I keep having internet issues. So
No, we heard you. That's we're good. So, Jed,
I don't usually remember my dreams.
you don't have any as a kid?
Probably the dreams I remember the most are the lucid ones, like dreaming that I've woken up and I've started the day already, only to wake up again later and go, oh, fuck, I've got to do that all over again.
I want to
really
ask
annoying
a question I really want.
What I have to do and I've got to do it again.
Yeah. At least you know how to do it.
I want to know recurring dreams is why don't the so the question I want to know recurring dreams, I don't know the answer is why do the wet ones never become recurring? What are the ones you want, you know?
I have had dreams like that always cut out just before they get interesting.
Or it's goddamn wake up, right when it's like, oh fuck, that was getting interesting, yeah.
Badger.
Right. I used to, from time to time, dream that all my hair and teeth had fallen out.
Interesting. I've definitely had teeth ones.
I've definitely had teeth ones. Like, I've had the one where I've been like eating something and then suddenly all my teeth are like grinding and coming out. I've had that one a few times.
The ones that I remember lately seem to all feature my roleplay characters or just family from like way in the past doing odd things. But the ones that there don't seem to be that many repeating themes in them that I can pick up on.
Yeah. Shadow Kitty says, I have recurring nightmares about fleeing from a tidal wave. Sammy says, my dream was running upstairs with my mother in a skyscraper as the bottom levels collapsed under us and my legs would feel like lead and I couldn't run. Interesting one.
Wow.
9/11.
I'm gonna say all of my worst dreams seem to involve my work for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate those.
Okay, I have to ask, given your job, have you considered buying some sort of semi-automatic weapon?
I have thought of like actually. I might as well say what my job is here on the stream this day, though. Yes, I'm a postal worker. I have given serious thought to it at times.
I think Sam is with me on this. That's a serious red flag where we are.
What did he say? He's gonna go postal while he's working?
Unfortunately, we can't get guns, so the best he's going to be able to do is hit someone over the head with his fist.
It will happen. Well, actually, I used to have a shotgun license. It's probably best that I don't now.
See, I forgot what I was going to say. Hang on, the dream that was. Oh, that was it. I had a recurring nightmare in the first couple of weeks when I started working in retail. It was a fucking disaster. So I just had a recurring nightmare that I had a customer that wouldn't fucking go away. I was scanning stuff over the side of my bed.
I bet a lot of people do have that dream. Right.
A true nightmare.
Yes. Julie.
Yeah, okay. Well, this isn't pleasant, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but for several years, I was married to my first husband for 13 and a half years, and we were together for 3 years before we got married. Because I'm from the South, and we all get married way the fuck too young. Anyway, so for several years, even after Junk Shop and I were married, I would have this recurring nightmare where I would find myself trapped in the old house where I lived with my ex, and I would be hunting for Junk Shop, and I couldn't find him. And I would turn to my ex and say, where is he? And he would laugh and say that never happened. Meaning I'd never left, meaning I'd never, yeah, it was horrible. So
you didn't feel trapped at all in that relationship?
No, not trapped at all. No, it was perfectly functional and not at all emotionally abusive and gut-wrenching.
That's not good.
Hey, Matt.
Yay!
Right.
You know what, Julie, you've given me some insight to my own dream that I never thought about before. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Not a psychologist.
Purple, not a psychologist. Purple says, when I was in my 20s, I had a recurring dream that, at the time, I took to be a memory from a past life as a British soldier in World War II.
I did the same thing.
The problem is,
Back in my
it's one of
Neo-Pagan
those
days.
films that
Wow.
it's funny because of my memory problems. I get snapshots that I can associate. People's memory normally evolves over time, right? Because I've got big gaps.
I know.
Go on.
I have to ask Julian: is when you have that thing, is it like just like a general thing, or is it based on like any films you might have seen or whatever?
I think it came from. I got obsessed with World War II because I read The Diary of a Young Girl when I was 14. So I'm reading Anne Frank's diary that she wrote when she was 14 and in hiding from the Nazis, and I got way obsessed. So then I read Upon the Head of the Goat, then I read The Hiding Place, then I went through, then I read Night, then I read Day. I went through every piece of like Holocaust or Shoah literature that I could find, and then I got really obsessed with the war in general. And I used to have, so I had a lot of dreams where I was involved in that war in one capacity or another, and I used to think it was a past life thing because I thought that was a thing. Now I just know it's because I was obsessed.
Do you know what? I had one once where I was dreaming I was involved in the Great Escape, and then I woke up halfway through it, and it just so happened I had the TV on, and guess which movie happened to be
Yes.
TV. So,
yeah, for sure. And I'm sure that some of the injury and stuff.
I was like halfway through Steve McQueen's motorcycle jump, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to make it. And, you know.
A big coincidence.
And that, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny what our brains do.
Yeah, but the reoccurring dream thing. I've always been fascinated by reoccurring dreams because I've only had one. And that's the funny thing about it.
No, you only remember one.
Right. That's right, yes.
It's one of those things, it's everybody dreams, or virtually everybody dreams. But most of my dreams I know I don't remember.
Everybody shits as well.
Yep. But people usually remember those.
Apart
way or
from
another.
a friend of mine who's had his bum surgically removed.
Right. Okay, so is there another question?
Yes!
Wait a minute. I have a question for Badger. Is there any one shit that you really remember distinctly?
It just so happens that there is actually.
That's a false equivalent. You
It
can't.
just so happens actually that there is one that I remember.
Right, there we go. Next question.
Thank you.
Oi!
I love you, Badger.
Question 294. Would you prefer to be Superman or Batman?
Oh.
Superman had less depression. I'd have to go with Superman.
I think
Do you get
Superman's
Batman?
life's a bit easier, I think.
Apart from the
I'm
fact
sorry?
he has to restrain himself constantly. Everything he
Yeah.
does.
Do we get Batman's money?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, Batman then.
I think
But
Fair.
hold on, if we had say the abilities of both, could we? Do we have to show that restraint? Say if we're Superman.
Yes, because you
really
literally
want to
cannot.
fart and just
You
level the city.
can't. Yeah, that's the problem. You have to. Everything you do has to be restrained, because you go to put a mug down and you will just smash it through the table.
Yeah. Okay. You'd adjust to that though over time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe.
I imagine Clark
You would
Kent
adjust
learned
to
that very young.
There's definitely. I again for what little canon I know, he definitely struggled with it throughout his entire life. I was hoping Badger was going to pop up because he seems to know this stuff far better than I.
Right. I'm going to pick Batman, and I will tell you why, Bob.
Why?
One, I'm a bit neurotic, and so is he. Two, I think a Batman. I think just having lots of money is a lot easier than being super powerful in terms of actually dealing with it. Because one, Superman can like fart and level a city, and also Superman, because of his innate abilities, everyone kind of looks to him to just solve everything.
Yes.
Which you could argue is the same thing for someone who's just immensely wealthy. But if you look at the people in the actual world, they seem to get around that problem just fine.
Yes. But that's usually by disconnecting themselves from...
The other thing with Bat is that... well, no, actually, not Batman. The other thing with Superman, sorry, is that Superman has a load of bullshit weaknesses that they've had to squeeze in there just so that he can actually be threatened in any way.
Yeah.
So if I suddenly just immediately shit myself and forget how to do everything if I see a green rock, I don't think that's particularly beneficial.
To be fair, you shit yourself when you see a Cobalt 30 rock.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but so does everyone around me.
Yeah, but Superman doesn't.
No, but Superman, literally everyone around
Damn it, I thought my internet was back for a second.
him is fine with Batman in certain storylines when long-term exposure causes him to get cancer. Superman, on the other hand, you could just have somebody walking around with a stupid bit of rock in their pocket and they just pull it out and you're fucked.
And Batman has some of that
Yeah,
in
and
his
then what
pocket.
about the red kryptonite? Totally changes his personality, and then you've got dangerous Superman on your hands.
Right,
Yeah.
quickly I'll go through these.
That's a fair point.
Junk Shop,
Not so
Superman.
Superman.
Junk Shop says, Superman, I've already got enough psychological trauma. Sammy says, I want to be Super Batman. Lucy says, Batman, Dave the Stalker knows why. Who's Dave the Stalker?
I'm sure there was a comic book where there was a Super Batman.
I think they might be right there.
Pretty sure there was a comic book where they blended the two characters.
That wouldn't surprise
Well,
me.
there was
Where they had Clark
there
Kent.
was one where they fought each other, but
Yeah, I
Many
think
times
there
they
was.
fought each other.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's many ones. So, I mean, obviously the famous one is the Dark Knight. Dark Knight Returns, where they fought one another. But I'm pretty sure there was one where they had Kal-El lands on Earth and he's raised by Thomas and Martha Wayne, and he goes to play shit as so he becomes like Super Batman.
Yeah.
Superman.
that's some.
That's
interesting.
I don't know the name of the book, but I know. I think the story somewhat exists. So.
Right, 9 o'clock here said, Superman is in Fantasyland. Batman is in today's world. Nerdy says, Superman, I can leave Earth.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's
But
I'd
then so
like to
can
be able to leave
Batman
Earth.
just buy a rocket.
Good point. Definitely.
Okay. Right, go on, Sam. Batman or Superman?
Definitely Batman. Only because Batman is a human.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I am. I'm a human being. And I relate more to Batman than I do psychologically more than I would to Superman. Because Superman has qualities that resemble that make him more of a hero, but not a human being in the sense of the word as humans are. We're frail and we don't have everything, and we are what we are, and we're humans. So that's what I go with.
Well, Junk Shop
How
says...
about
Go on.
Oh, go on, Dave.
I was going to say, Junk Shop says they both thought...
Well, I know.
They both thought
Go
Xenomorphs
ahead,
and Batman did better. Go on, Jeff.
Okay. Well, I don't want to be crass, but I'm pretty sure we was on here the other night when there was Batman or Sherlock Holmes was proposed.
Yes,
for
for a form of
and I might
detecting.
give a similar answer. Who do you want to get it on with? Lois Lane or Catwoman?
Catwoman.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, for sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean,
It's
Lois
like,
Lane is hot, but Catwoman is hotter.
Catwoman is like, yeah. It's like Lois
Well,
Lane would be cool, but
If
If
you're
we're going
talking-
with romantic,
Catwoman's gonna get you. You know, that's gonna be more interesting, isn't it?
if we're going with their romantic interests, I'll probably pick Superman because Catwoman, while she is sexy and
She's a bad.
capable fighter and all that business, she's indecisive and she strings Batman along terribly, and I can't emotionally deal with that.
Good.
Shadow
Yeah,
Kitty says, "Have you?"
Hey, Richard! Richard in the audience. Richard Madison's in the
He is?
side chat, and he doesn't understand what fun is. Maybe we should tell him what fun is. He doesn't know what fun is. I think. I don't know. Can someone explain that to him? I don't think so. But anyway,
What?
Fun is a well lubricated dildo.
oh, there you go. There, Richard. Did you hear that, Richard?
Fun is what
Agreed.
happened in my chat last night when we were all drunk.
I think fun is what happened the other night when we were talking about Star Wars.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on, that was a good stream, Dave.
It was a good stream. We should do it
The
again
second half of it was good.
We should.
sometime.
It's going to be more divisive than the politics question.
Actually, Badger and I mostly agreed.
Oh, good. Okay.
That's
I missed that
terrible.
one, so I wasn't sure.
I just want to say thanks, Richard. No offense, and I love you, brother.
Right, fun. Ah, yes, the employment of time in a profitless and non-practical way.
Oh, cool.
According to
So what we're doing right now.
According to Crichton.
Yeah, that's what I would like to spend as much time as possible doing. Yes.
Have you watched the new Red Dwarf yet? I still haven't found time to watch it. I'm very depressed.
There's a new Red Dwarf.
Yeah, 2 new
There
episodes.
is, and I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I haven't seen.
Oh,
the
how did I
Red
not
Dwarf
know
yet.
this?
Came out last week.
No spoilers.
Nope.
Yeah,
well, no one's
please.
seen it.
Sorry, Dave. I'm gonna.
I'm having a lot of
Dave, I'm
difficulty
gonna drop
getting
for.
into new things right now.
I'm gonna drop for a minute or so because I think my internet's properly gone back online. So I hope I can get back on
Okay.
properly.
Hurry back.
So yeah,
Hurry
drop
back.
me for 2
No,
seconds.
All right, Jeff.
B.
All right. Shadow Kitty says, "Have you ever noticed the similarities between Superman and Moses?"
Well, there is actually a 22-point scale for heroes and what they are, and it's called. I think it's what is it? Let me look that up again. Let me see. It's called.
Hey, I'm back properly.
Woo!
Finally.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome
Do you
back.
Hey,
think?
Sam, are you talking like Joseph Campbell?
Oh, was I? No, I was talking about the Raglan scale.
Oh, okay, that's a different. Okay, sorry. I was thinking Hero with 1,000 Faces, which is. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was talking about the Raglan scale. It's a pattern that is seen in all mythological characters. And there's a book about it that I read called "The Heroes and the Study in Traditional Myths and Dreams," and it gives out a 22 list of characterizations that are given to mythological characters. And if you can equate those mythological characters to people that are living, that means that they are not actually mythological. Now, if you can equate, the more you can equate
I'm mythological.
the more you can equate these attributes to a given character, that means that they are more mythological than they would be real. You know what I'm saying? It's called the Raglan scale, and I think I might not be saying that right, but it's called the raglan. It's like I forget what it was.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I'm not familiar with that one.
No, I've never heard of that one.
Does anyone know what I'm talking about? I'm not sure. But
No, I used to teach
there's a
literature, so I'm.
22
It's the hero's pattern. It's what Hissy was talking about.
Right, exactly. It's the hero pattern. It's the hero pattern that equates to mythological characters.
17
Now,
points
if you
based
can-
mostly on.
Well, no, there's 22 points, and if you can
thing in the
equate
chat here.
the more characteristics you can equate to your god, the more he is in the mythological state than he is in the real reality state. Just
Are
a
we saying
thing,
that?
just a thing to think about.
So, Superman is God. Is that...
But he is a god.
Superman
Repeatedly talked about.
Superman would probably fulfill all 22 characteristics in the Raglan scale.
He's definitely
Which
mythical.
would make him, yes, that would make him totally mythological. Now, if you were to take Governor Cuomo from New York City and take that list and try and fit him to that list, I think maybe he would come up with a 1 on a scale of 22, which would not make him mythological at all. That's what I'm talking about. Does
Makes
anyone
sense.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Get it.
Yeah.
It's called the Raglan scale.
I'll-
Nerdy has pasted a link.
Nerdy's posted a link in the
But
chat.
you were
I
right.
think I'm
You were
thoroughly
right, Critical.
mythological.
You were right, Critical. That it is the hero pattern.
Yeah.
It is the hero pattern.
Right. I'm going to quickly jump to the next question. Question
Right. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
295. Would you trade all your paper books for digital versions?
Fuck off.
No.
Never.
No way. No way.
No, couldn't do it.
Never.
Dan?
No.
You see, apart from
So
the...
we're all bibliophiles. Yeah.
No, here's the thing. Apart from the ones that I have an attachment to now, I would.
Really?
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
a
but the
rule
question
book.
at all.
No, see, this is the
Questions
problem.
all day.
All,
Here's the
I'd
thing.
say no.
Yeah.
But I
It's not even that. Real books are so much better.
they smell better. Everything.
Oh, yes.
It's more tactile. It's more holding a tablet and trying to read it, or even audiobooks. The thing, I don't get it. It starts with your imagination in an audiobook, and I've got dyslexia, so I take forever to read a book, but I'd still rather read one.
I love my books.
Well, here's the thing. See, I've just bought 3, maybe. Let's get 4 out for a sample. Okay, I've got 4 here, and I know there's another one somewhere, all signed by the author. You can't have that with a Kindle.
No.
You know, look, I've got. You know,
Yeah, but you can take a photograph and put it alongside.
It's not the same. You know it's not the same. But I've got this one here, the entirely accurate Encyclopedia of Evolution signed by the comedian Rob Newman. Got another one here, comedian Stuart
Wait there.
Lee, signed
Are you a
with-
Newman and Baddiel fan?
Oh, man. Those
Fuck
books
yeah.
I really love.
I'm more of a Rob Newman fan, to be
That
honest. But
Fantastic.
and this one I'm particularly proud. This was the manifesto of this one here. It's the manifesto of the Black Panther Party back in the 60s.
Oh, cool.
And it is signed by David Hilliard, who was, for a little while, when Huey Newton was in jail, was leader of the Black Panther Party.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Right, just to catch up on the chat.
So,
Nerd,
I'm
Junk
not
Shop.
trading that for anything.
He's like, no. Well, no. See, but those I keep those, but not necessarily for reading. Junk Shop says fuck no. Nerdy says yes, easy next. Betsy says I love the smell of books. Sammy says I don't read books, but I love collecting them, so no. 9 o'clock Hero says books don't need batteries. There are lots of fun things in a house that need batteries. Purple says, apart from the ones I have an attachment to. My fiance... Go on.
I find it a lot more... I don't know. I just find it more pleasurable actually reading the book than reading like a Kindle or a screen or something.
I agree with that, but that makes...
why.
Does that not make the book separate to the contents?
I don't know. I don't know if it... I mean, contents are the contents no matter what. I mean, I appreciate for saving space. Yeah, it might be easy to have a few things on Kindle, but I don't know. It's just sometimes it's good to crack open a proper book. I don't know if I want to trade that.
No, I understand that it's environmentally better to go digital with books, but I just can't do it. I not entirely. I have some digital books, but it's just not the same. It's like what you were saying. They're musty. They have a smell. They have it. You get this tactile. All of these attachments to memory, right? That help. Like I wouldn't trade my copy of Watership Down that I've read over a dozen times for anything in the world. And it's just a shitty paperback copy of Watership Down, but I love it. I love that book, and that particular copy is mine. It's mine.
Yeah.
Right. And and my copy of the complete works of William Shakespeare I've had since I was a freshman in high school, and you've got all the bits where the spine's broken, all the bits I've reread. I taught Hamlet out of that same copy because I was, I've had it forever and I know it. I wouldn't.
Julie, I've actually been to Watership Down. So it's not far from where I live. Amazing.
It's so good.
Shadow Kitty...
It's a nice place, even if you don't know the
story.
To do with the book, yeah.
Shadow Kitty says, most of my library is sheet music, so no. Richard Madsen says, technical manuals only get better with new editions. No, they don't. That's why I burnt most of mine.
Hey, I'm a tech writer. Yes, they do. That's how I make my living, bud. Don't mess with my money. No, but that's another reason why I don't like to read on a screen, is because I literally do that all day long.
Oh, entirely.
Really. Under normal world circumstances,
really
that's what I'm doing for
I just
8
find
hours
it
a day.
I just find it a little bit more taxing to my eyes to read off of a screen than I do off the book.
What about when we get a book that can write itself, that can change? The Harry Potter-esque. No, that's actual movement. But a book that could be anything.
Well, how about a book that can never be revised or changed? And I'm not talking about a religious book. A book that will stand the test of time no matter what.
There's no such book.
Well, great writing does that.
Well, I have a book that I can claim that will stand the test of time.
There is no grammatical or spelling mistakes in it.
Well, let's just say spelling and grammatical errors withstanding, okay?
Okay.
Just the information alone in the book.
Yeah.
One book all by itself. It's an actual art book.
Fair enough.
That I have, and it just tells you how to draw dynamic figures of human beings.
Yeah.
Now, how could you replace that?
That's fair.
No, you couldn't. That's. This is kind of the point.
And it's not a religious book. It's not a religious book. But this book, I could give this book to someone 50 years in the future, and they would still get the same information from it.
But it might mean you say the same information, but the context of the way of drawing might have changed. The information might mean something different.
No. The context and the drawing will never change because circles are still circles, right?
You would have said that about a maths book 20 years ago. And now how they teach maths now is completely different.
Math. I'm talking about an art book. I'm talking about
No, I know you are, but I'm trying to... I agree. I don't disagree. I'm just trying to say that the context for which the book has meaning could change.
Yes, but the information within it will still remain the same.
Yes, it will,
Regardless.
but it will always be. Yes, I'm going to agree. Just
Well, I agree, but even with those sort of things, that there can be revisions where they just change a word or two. I mean, as people know,
No, but listen, if you draw a human figure, there's only one or two or three different ways to draw a human figure. And everyone who draws knows this. And there's only a certain form that you use for drawing dynamic figures.
Hold on, though. But I'm saying, when I say it can't be revised, it could be when it's a revision, it can be as simple as a thing as changing a word from "and" to "or" whatever. That's how.
Right, but that's not what I'm talking about.
I know that's.
I mean, the problem is, Sam. The problem is, what you're saying is coming under the definition of what we would call a technical manual, rather than what we're talking about as a book.
But it is a book.
But it's a technical book. It's a book that is.
It's not a book that's actually read.
Yes.
You don't read it. It's not a book you read.
My view on this question
does
is...
the book have to be a book that has to be read? That's another question. Can a book just be a picture book?
Technically, yes, but we are specific.
So how do you reinterpret the pictures? Then you would have to.
You could alter them slightly, though, couldn't you? It's not beyond the realms of possibility to just subtly alter a picture.
I mean, unless you are talking about explicitly a reference book that is referencing something from the past.
No, I'm talking about a book that is referencing the drawing and foredrawing of the human figure. There's no words. You don't need any words to describe it. If you just open the book, you don't need to read the book to learn how to draw. The book can show you how to draw without even reading it.
Yes, I don't disagree with that.
So does that transcend the meaning of what I'm talking about? I don't know. I don't know if that goes beyond the scope of the question.
Yes, a bit.
I don't know.
Because it goes down, like I say, it goes down the route more of a technical / reference, but rather than a
work of fiction.
Yes, but I'm not just thinking fiction, because you tend to get biographies and things like that, which again would come into the thing. Just we need to let Badger talk because we keep talking over him.
I was actually going to bring something up for Jen in a minute, but I'll let Badger come in first.
So wait, but what Richard said was not entirely incorrect, because he said that a manual, a technical manual that has been revised.
Yes.
That's what you read the comment, right? Critical, right, Dave?
Yes.
You read the comment?
Yes.
So Richard is not entirely incorrect, right?
Actually, again, I write those for a living, and when we get new information, that's when we revise them. We don't revise them just for, oh shit, somebody forgot a comma. You don't worry about that with technical manuals as much. It's when the engineers say, here is new information now that needs to go in here. So yeah.
Okay.
It's very different. It depends on what you're talking about. Like, I understand that there have been a lot of new techniques in art since we discovered perspective. Actually, I shouldn't even say that. I'm sure there are millions of new techniques in art. I suck at art, so I shouldn't say that. I retract that last statement.
There aren't many new techniques in art, actually.
No. Oh,
wait, we have to let Badger talk, because he 3 seconds lagged.
Let Badger talk, then I'm going to say something for Jen's benefit, all right?
For my benefit?
Yeah.
Badger, go!
Alright, so books. My views on books are as follows. I would not replace any of my fiction books with a digital alternative. I would prefer a digital alternative, however, for things like reference books. For example, encyclopedias, dictionaries, and reference books for games, like for Dungeons and Dragons or Shadowrun or something like that. I would much prefer them in digital format so that I can search for the specific thing I need, rather than having to understand the fucking index because I'm dyslexic and I can't do it.
Yes.
However, I would still rather there be physical copies of those that exist because I'm not 100% confident that digital things will last.
Yes.
You know, that they rely entirely on the infrastructure of society, whereas physical books don't, because you can store them and keep them from getting wet.
Yes.
Only if you can keep them in that condition.
I think that digital things will ultimately end up that way.
Right.
There are forms of digital writing now.
You may be able to securely store.
Yes, but you still need the computer to read it.
100,000 years.
Yes, but you still need the equipment to read it.
You may be able to securely store. You may be able to securely store your entire library of human knowledge on a piece of crystal, but if I don't have a crystal reader, then that's completely useless to me.
Yeah, the infrastructure isn't required for the thing. A text file is perfectly good for storing things. You can store it on a chip in a text file, but if you have no mechanism to read it, it's a piece of silicon. It may as well be sand. Wait, 2 seconds.
I didn't expect to have this kind of reaction to this question. I really did.
That's what happens a lot on these streams, though.
They go everywhere.
So what was your...
Can I just say something?
Yeah, go on.
This is kind of for Jen's benefit, but here's how I think books should be done. That we should adopt non-literature. Means every book has to be copied by hand on paper precisely in the original language, including the coffee stain Mr. Garibaldi spilled on Jakar's book. I told you Jen would get that.
I agree.
I'm glad Jen was the only one who got that.
I don't speak. Learn.
That was the least tech, because then less people would have them, and then we'd have less idiots. Although that didn't work in the Dark Ages, did it? So.
But we know the Babylon 5 thing with the Narns or whatever that. It was like, yeah.
I don't read Narn. Learn.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's like you couldn't translate a book into another. It had to be copied by hand, exactly how the original was. And like when Jakar wrote his book or whatever, like when Mr. Garibaldi was looking over his notes, he accidentally spilt some coffee on it. So every single copy, he had to like have a little bit of coffee spilt on the curtain.
Yes.
To be reproduced precisely how Jakar wrote it.
Yeah.
Excellent example. Yes.
I like that. Hissy says it's impossible to take notes on digital books properly. She also says digital books don't display images, etc., properly like in comics.
Speaking of which, Hissy and I, we haven't set a time yet, but we're going to be talking comics in a day or two. So
are you?
Watch this space. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We just haven't set the time up quite yet, but that's coming up.
All right.
Jen.
Talking Asterix specifically.
Specifically.
Yeah, sorry, that's easy for me to say.
I know. No, I think I'm not. I'm just going to say, basically, no one says they're going to switch all their books to digital.
No, absolutely not.
No, we're all selfish book lovers. Can't do it.
I'm trying.
And here's the thing: I will also say on that. Even some of those books that I got that don't have the signatures of the author. With some of them, there's a chance that I might run into the author, and you never know. You get some. Okay, some of them I know that. Okay, like Douglas Adams, obviously, I'm never going to run into him because on the fact that he's dead. But you know what I mean. But someone like I don't know, so Mark Thomas, I could easily I might run into him one day and get him to sign one of the books that I've already have.
I've got Mark Thomas's signature.
I've got that thing.
I've got Mark Thomas's signature on a ticket to a show I saw him from in 92 or 3.
I've got 4 of his books in front of me. I'm looking at right now.
I would like to have copies of every pre-Disney Star Wars book, so that I can just read those.
There are no pre-Disney Star. Excuse me. There are no pre-Disney Star Wars book. They're not Star Wars. There's something
Don't
else.
disagree.
Canon. They're not canon.
Disney, nothing Disney has created is Star Wars. Everything before Disney is the only
Badger,
true
you
Star
want to
Wars.
read the old school good Star Wars books? Come visit us.
Do you know how
I
many
think
times?
Junk Shop has most of them.
Do you know how many times I have to put Star Wars and Disney tags in my videos?
I also
I'm so sorry.
the only
Just leave the Disney ones out. They're shit.
the only new canon Disney books I've enjoyed is the new Thrawn trilogy. That's about it.
Yeah, but the guy who wrote them, the guy who wrote the new Thrawn trilogy, wrote them specifically so that they could fit with either the original Thrawn books or the new stuff.
Well, he wrote the original.
Specifically, I read an
Timothy
interview with
Zahn,
him where
yeah.
he specifically stated that they were written to fit with the old ones.
Yeah, Timothy Zahn. Yeah, because he wrote he actually was the guy who created
Oh,
Thrawn
yeah.
as a character. So
Timothy Zahn's great. What did you have there, Jen? It looked like a spy camera.
A little
I can't
HD
see.
sports camera.
Oh,
It's like a GoPro.
oh, cool.
That's a slide
The
whistle.
battery in it doesn't work properly, unfortunately.
No, it's from my hand. Right, last question.
Yeah.
If we can escape to it.
Sorry.
Jesus
Leave
Christ.
it like that.
Question 296. Would you rather have only 2 long yellow front teeth, like a beaver, or no teeth at all?
Oh, that's horrible. I can get dentures, so no teeth at all. It's fine.
If you end up gummy, you're allowed to go
Yeah.
and get falsies.
yeah,
Yeah.
You suppose so.
Do the 2 long
Yes, I
yellow
will.
front teeth
I'm allowed to get
grow
one
like a
free.
beaver?
Wait there! Badger, what's your question?
Do the 2 long front teeth regrow like a beaver's do?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
I
I
think I,
already
could
have
live
2
with-
long
with-
yellow front teeth.
That's
I need the other
interesting.
ones.
That's
He's already
interesting, but I don't. That's interesting, but I don't know what use I'm going to have to chew through wood.
I guess the
So-
question doesn't apply to you then.
Yeah, so I was like,
See,
I'm like,
Not that it needed to.
Generally, if you chew on wood, the guy complains.
B says no teeth. Purple says I
you've been
have.
talking to Darth about our secrets, haven't you, Jane?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. I wasn't meant to say anything.
Yeah.
Was that a secret? Oh.
Apparently so. Purple says I have no teeth at all. I can't wear
I
dentures.
think
Give me
those
beaver
are the-
teeth.
I think I would go with the beaver teeth because then I can chew through wood and stuff like that, and the teeth would continuously regrow. I don't particularly like being around people physically, so I don't really give a shit.
Okay, I just discovered something. Sammy's having a new little sprog.
But you are saying, for the sake of this question, we are allowed to have dentures, right?
Say again?
You are saying, for the sake of this question, we're allowed to have dentures, right?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Then it's option 2. Yeah, all my teeth fall out. I just get dentures.
What'd you say, Jim?
I'd have the beaver teeth.
You'd have the beaver teeth.
Just
Well,
beaver,
there's more to
beaver
the sentence.
teeth. Beaver teeth, period.
Beaver teeth, period.
Okay.
Sod
Well,
the
the
beaver.
inherent-
Sod the
Beaver
beaver
teeth.
teeth. I'm going to get dentures and I'm going to get Dracula fangs.
Nice.
Crazy.
I
That wouldn't
think-
it? Beaver teeth. Beaver teeth. Period.
I'd go for the beaver teeth, but also dentures around them, so that I can have the beaver teeth for functionality. And
There you go. Because that's the only way that would
Dentures goes up.
work. Because if you only have 2 front teeth, you have nothing to bite down. You know these. So you're just gumming on the bottom.
I can make
That's
2.
horrible.
Yeah,
Anyway.
The thing with dentures, you could have multiple different sets for multiple purposes, couldn't you?
Yep.
Mm.
And you could have beaver teeth dentures.
Right. You could be a beaver vampire potentially. So
Richard says no teeth and dentures or a couple of metal plates. Kitty says can't play the saxophone with no teeth, so big yellow teeth it is. Can you play the saxophone with beaver teeth?
But beaver teeth wouldn't
You can play the saxophone with dentures, provided you have ancient
Beaver teeth
footage.
dentures wouldn't go all the way back through my skull, so they wouldn't cancel stuff.
Fair enough. Sammy says big teeth and file them down. Junk Shops asks if he'd have jaws. Oh, I see. Metal teeth like jaws from the Bond films. Yeah, it would make sense. But then it puts a new twist on woodworking.
Oh, damn. No, that was me. Had metal teeth. You know, some woodworking. Come on.
Richard says, oh no, I've got a chainsaw teeth.
Good look. That's frightening.
That's interesting.
Chainsaw teeth.
That's interesting.
Oh. So basically, there's a good split between beaver and no teeth. It's normally most people fall down on one side of these questions.
Yeah, I'm going to say no teeth, but on the fact that I could have Dracula fang dentures, you know. That's where I'm falling on this argument.
Excellent. Right, I think I shall have to run away, so we shall end it here. I'm going to say thank
you all so much for inviting me.
I am so glad you came. You can come anytime.
Nice. Yeah, thanks for popping in. You know.
I say thank you to Jed, thank you to Badger, thank you to Sam, thank you to Julie, thank you to Jeff, and thank you to Donna, and fuck BT for screwing her net connection. But at least we got Julie out of it.
Thank you.
And say
fuck Virgin Media for pissing about on my internet earlier.
Yes. And I really
Jen, thank you for shouting my name out.
I say thank you to everyone in the live chat.
Never been on a stream before. I'm verklempt. Okay.
You need to come more often.
Always.
That's always the plan, isn't it, Julie?
That's always the plan. Always the plan. See, Jen knows what's up. Yep.
So, thank you very much to everyone in the live chat. And we will see you tomorrow, I think. Probably. Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
Right. Bye!
You're not sure.